I think I used to carve with the little penknife when I first started as a teenager. And then from there, I took up teaching, specializing in art teaching. And in art school, I specialized in wood sculpture. So that's how I got into it. When I retired from teaching, then it's just natural that I took up the wood sculpture. The cedar is such a beautiful wood when it's finished. The objects that you make out of it have a good start at being beautiful, just the material itself. When I first started, I used to do sort of copies of African sculptures. And then I got into studying art, and I got into the European masters. And most of my sculptures now turn out to be a combination of the African sculpture and the European, more of a simplified type of designs. I like to do fish. I don't do many animals, but fish, you'll see a few fish around. As a fisherman myself, and I always think of the way the fish moves in the water and the way the bird flies. If you notice the gracefulness of a soaring bird in the air, this type of movement you'll see in the sculptures. If you look where the discards are, you'll see lots and lots of errors, mistakes, and yes, the discards. Sometimes I have a bonfire and I work them out and clean up the place and off they go. But yes, with wood you do get mistakes, lots of mistakes. Usually the mistakes also help me as well. I told you that I like to work on pieces that I've done in the past. Well, that's why I copy my own work. I do copy my own work so that I can improve on it. So I can correct those mistakes that I made. You know, not just the wood, but the design sometimes. Sometimes my first idea doesn't work. Bermuda had a contingent in Washington in 2002, and I was fortunate enough to be working in there. And I had some sculptures there, and a blind person came by to visit our tent, and he just felt one of my sculptures. And he told me so much about that sculpture. He saw various movements in it, various textures, because sometimes they're not always smooth. Sometimes you just have little textures and lines in it that you can feel, ridges and things like that, he could see with his fingers. He opened my eyes, if you had to use a cliche. So that's when I started to explore more or less the possibilities of allowing people to touch the sculptures. In fact, I design sculptures with my hands now. As I work them, I'm very often touching and feeling. It tells me a lot about the piece. And I just close my eyes and I can see any imperfections with my fingers. If you look at my bronzes, all of them have legs moving, arms moving, outstretched. They've got various bodily parts that are sticking this way and that way. You can't do that in wood. It would just break. The grain of the wood won't allow you to do things. When you make something in wood, it has to be, for the most part, vertical and compact. You can't stick arms out and legs out like that. So doing some bronzes will give me the opportunity to express some feelings that I can express in wood. And that's why I did bronzes. Trouble is, we don't have a foundry in Bermuda, and in order to get them cast, you either have to go a long way, like Mexico, or you can go to the United States and have to pay a lot of money to have casting done. It's an expensive process. I love teaching. I've been a teacher all my life. I taught in high school for 39 years. Now I teach at the prison 2 days a week, which I enjoy doing. And I have a few students that come up here to my workshop and take classes. Not only that, very often people who are not students of mine who like to do wood sculpture will drop by to show me what they've done, to get my take on it, and just discuss it. And sometimes they just want to know where to go next, and I'll help them out. So I'm a bit of a mentor for people who do wood sculpture as well as my students.